I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. This week, we are learning the 10 Commandments, and today we're focusing on Commandments 6 and 8. Now, if you recall, we already learned Commandment number 7 when we learned number 3. And this is because both number 3 and number 7 deal with infidelity, unfaithfulness, or as the Bible calls it, adultery. Number 3 being spiritual adultery, which is unfaithfulness of believers against the Lord. And number 7 deals with personal relational adultery, which is unfaithfulness between husbands and wives. But now we're going to turn our focus to commandments number 6 and number 8. And by the way, 6 and 8 are always my kids' favorites to learn, so let's dig in. The 6th commandment, okay? You hold up a high five on one hand, and you hold up a pointer finger on the other hand, and then you point the pointer finger like a gun, and you say, do not commit murder, right? Because you got a gun there, and don't worry, it's not loaded. Exodus chapter 20, verse 13 says this, pretty simple, do not murder. Exodus 20, verse 13. Now, the 6th commandment is perhaps the most misquoted of the 10 commandments. So many people believe that the 6th commandment prohibits killing, right? And to be exact, the 6th commandment does not prohibit killing. It does not say, thou shalt not kill, for instance. The 6th commandment prohibits murder, which is a wholly other thing. And I understand how people can get the two confused because all murder involves killing. But not all killing in the eyes of the Lord is murder. What do I mean? Or more importantly, what does the Bible mean? Well, there is a clear distinction between the murder or a person who's a murderer on a shooting rampage. There's a difference between him and the police officer who has to use deadly force in order to stop a murderer. So both of their actions involve killing, and yet only one of them committed murder. I recall an interview with Bono, who was the lead singer from the popular rock band U2. And Bono commented on this very issue, and he described how his personal political views had always aligned with pacifist views. And he was working with organizations like Amnesty International, of which he was a spokesman. And he continued to say that he had always considered himself a pacifist until he saw a stranger with a gun in his backyard. And he told the reporter how he grabbed a knife by instinct and that he would have used it to defend his family had the police not arrived to arrest the man. And then he added that he had no doubt that he would have gone as far as killing the man if it was necessary. And the commandment is clear, do not murder. Now, on to commandment number 8. How do we do this? Well, we hold up a high five on one hand, and then we have 3 fingers on the other. There's 3. And then we say, commandment number 8, I stole the bread, and then I ate it. Get it? Ate. I ate it. I'm not saying I'm a comedian. I'm just saying that's how we remember it. Exodus 20, verse 15. Do not steal. That's why I say I stole the bread and I ate it. Images of Les Miserables come flooding in, right? Stealing bread in troubled times. Well, that's the stuff of literature. But taking things that do not belong to you, regardless of the circumstance, is a sin. So even if you can hide the evidence by eating the bread, as it were, the Lord still sees you. And seriously, stealing has a pretty standard definition. You know when you've done it. Simply do not take what is not yours. Those are commandments 6 and 8. So can you recite them all so far? Well, let's try it out. Commandment number 1, well, there's only one God, right? Have no other gods before me. Commandment number 2, well, if there's only one God, then don't make any more. Don't make any idols, no graven images, nothing else to bow down to, because there's only one God. Don't make any more. Commandment number 3, don't receive the Lord's name in vain, or don't use the Lord's name in vain. Don't say, hey, I'm going to be married to the Lord. We are the bride of Christ, and yet you're still chasing after the world. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. because that's what it's there for. Number 5, right? Honor your father and mother. This is me spanking a child, an imaginary child. Honor your father and mother, and you will live long in the land that the Lord has given to you. 5 and 1 makes 6. We turn that into a gun. Do not commit murder. We just learned it today. Number 7, remember, there's 7. Number 7, remember 3 and 7 both deal with adultery. 3 is spiritual adultery. And number 7 is don't be married to one person and chasing after another one, right? The Lord calls it a sin. Number 8, I stole the bread and I ate it. Well, hide the evidence all you want. The Lord still knows it's stealing. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Check us out at groundworksministries.com.